Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage here, and I am interviewing Shane Kidwell again. For those of you that missed last year's interview with Shane, you're in for quite a treat. When I did that interview, and Shane, correct me if I'm wrong on the numbers, you were in your first full year in the business. You had gone from, I think, $10 million a year as a part-time mortgage professional who's also a fireman to your first full-time in a year at doing 40 million. Is that?
Yeah, we were one loan shy of 40 million last year.
Nice. So guys, great success story. You know, folks are saying you can't just get into the mortgage coach or get into the mortgage business and kill it. Shane, you know, had his first full year and had a spectacular year. So Shane, let's do an update. You know, where are you at right now? It's Q1. Well, actually, we just finished Q1. We're kicking off Q2 of 2018. So how did the first quarter wrap up for you? And then let's get into some ideas and strategies.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we just ran the numbers, and like, for those that aren't running numbers, man, it's powerful to know where you came from, to be able to know where you're going. And we're at 148% of our production from last quarter one. Our app count, January and February, was triple what it was last year. So although the first quarter, you know, is not typically, you know, the best quarter, we're trending in a great direction. And so for us, we're super excited about Q2 and where we're going, and everything's like increasing over where we were last year.
I love it. I love it. Well, last year when I talked to you, you were, you know, loan officer, team leader, building out a branch. You also starting up a coaching program. And I think as I interview you today, I'm interviewing you as team leader, top producer, and full-on coach. You're also coaching other loan officers. So when you answer these questions, I want you to really come from two places. One, what are you doing? And then two, what are you coaching loan officers to do? It might be the same. There might be some nuances. But you know, first of all, what do you think your goal for this year is going to be? Where do you plan to land from a production standpoint?
Boy, if I don't listen to the so-called experts and pundits, our goal is 50 million for my personal. And then for the rest of our team, we're projected to do about 110 to 120 million. And really, it's easy to talk from, thank you for bringing up the coaching, because, you know, for us, myself and my business partners, coaching is just an extension of what we do. It's not different. Like, I'm not doing one thing in my personal production and then coaching differently. I'm just sharing what I'm doing and sharing what's working for me. And I think more importantly, I'm sharing what didn't work for me. I think I can save people a lot of money and a lot of time by sharing not only success, but the failures I had. And that's where, for me, it's just, I'm transparent. Like, I learned, and the way I was able to get from A to Z so quickly was by standing on other people's shoulders. And I think that's huge.
Yeah, no doubt. So everyone who's watching this, first of all, if you didn't see my first interview with Shane, there'll be a link below. You're watching this on YouTube. Hopefully you got some value. As soon as you got a takeaway, click the like button. And please, by the end of this call, we hope that it's worthy enough that you'd want to share it to your team. And again, folks, give us a like, give us a share. So Shane, let's talk about where we're at today, because, you know, we got two massive challenges: low inventory, rates have gone up. So what I'm hearing in the market is folks are having challenges with pricing compression, all-time high rate shopping. You know, how are you executing at the point of sale so that you're doing more production this year than last year, when, let's face it, it's more challenging this quarter for a lot of folks?
Yeah, I think, I mean, from the coaching mindset, man, I love a challenge. I love when competition increases. I feel like I'm at my best and I'm more focused. So I love times like this. And two, I think if you come from a place of abundance, like, and you know, people who are in coaching groups and they come from a place of abundance, like, the difference between a positive, powerful mindset and everybody else is becoming more and more drastic. What we've done, I mean, I've been a power user mortgage coach since I got in the industry in 2009. I've created a system where every time we do things the same way, we've continued that and we've added to it. And so for me, if the market is shrinking or margins are getting compressed or we're having to compete more with online lenders, I just need to go out and try to differentiate more. And the key that we've really coached on this last quarter was connecting with people at their pain point, whether that's a referral partner, like a real estate agent for us. And one of the strategies I wanted to share with you, Dave, is that we're working on with financial planners a lot now. It's discussing with these people and addressing. If you can address somebody's fear, or if you can address somebody's concern, You will have a loan officer employee for life. You'll have a realtor for life if you can address their fear. And so the question I've been asking myself and my team and our coaching clients is, what is that person's fear? Can we address their fear? If I can address their fear, then they'll be loyal forever. And so that's really what over the last 3 months we've been working on, is how to address people's fear. From a rate shopping perspective, I actually started in the business, became a preferred lender with a big online real estate brokerage, Redfin. So I started from day one with rate shoppers and having to deal with compressed margins. So, man, this is like, for me, game on, right? I'm right back to where I was when I started. But the biggest thing I look at is, before you start putting together presentations and sharing and giving all your time, it's find out, what does the client really want and what's their pain. Last week, we had a guy who found a rate that I think was from 2 years ago. It was amazing, and it's so far off from where we are. But I said, John, what are your biggest fears and stresses and challenges when you're buying a home? What the guy talked about wasn't rate. It was the fear of missing his closing. He was doing a simultaneous close. It was the fear of moving and all the moving pieces and logistics. So we addressed all those issues. We were able to be extremely competitive. We weren't going to meet that rate from that online lender who doesn't even originate, or whatever the story is. It's all the same, right? But we addressed his pain. He even agreed. He said, hey, if you can get close to this other person's price, I'm happy to go with you guys. And so we were actually able to bring him up on the rate because we talked and addressed his pain. And then we did it through an educational perspective. And what we always share with our TCAs, and we do 2 on every transaction, is, listen, I get paid whether you get a fixed or an ARM. I get paid whether you get a 30-year or 15-year. I get paid the same. I want to educate you to make your own empowered decision to pick the loan that's best for your family and your situation. And the guys who are these cut rate lenders online are not having that conversation. They're not putting in the time to do that. And that's where I think we've seen our business grow and take more market shares, because we're addressing people's fears.
No doubt. So by the way, when you said TCA, I want to make sure everybody knows that means total cost analysis. And Shane, if you wouldn't mind, I want to get a sample of one of your total cost analysis, one that just is reflective of the most common conversations you have. So hopefully, first of all, you guys, you already got a script. You got, do you get off the phone with a buyer and know their concerns and their pain? And did you deliver a total cost analysis so that they've got this multi-channel graphs and charts? They can text it, they can email it. All the decision makers and stakeholders can do it. So if you could just describe, I think we got a feeling for how you asked about the pain. How do you tee up the total cost analysis, and any scripting that you can think of that would be helpful that might help folks be more successful in today's market?
Yeah, and so what we're doing right now is we're really addressing it. We're getting to the consumer before the consumer. So we're going to that referral source, and we're actually using the TCA with the referral source to educate them and to help them become our advocate to communicate to the client. So now when we're getting clients, they've been teed up by the agent, the financial planner, the source, understanding how we're going to educate them, how it's different. So what we're doing now is we're still doing our TCA twice on every transaction with every prospect, pre-approval or lead, but we're going now to the financial planner and we're addressing their pain. We're going to the agent and addressing their pain. And we're talking to them about education. Again, what we do is we ask, what's the agent's pain? Well, it's not closing on time, not getting paid their commission check, having their reputation be harmed by a lender that they referred somebody to that didn't close. And so if we can address that pain, and we use Mortgage Coach from the educational perspective, we'll show, hey, listen, if we can do a TBD approval to get your client reviewed by underwriting prior to ever finding a home, and lender B is not doing that, now we have a value proposition. And so we're building these presentations from a marketing perspective and going out to our realtor partners and using the system in that regard to get to the agent.
Love that. And I want to hope everybody connected the dots, because I've surveyed, countless people. I've interviewed hundreds of top producers. And when you talk about conversion, what's most important, so often it's the quality of the referral, how they were referred and who they were referred by. So part of your strategy is you're being extremely intentional around educating that partner. So when they refer you, it's not just like, hey, let me refer you to my lender. It's, hey, let me refer you to a lender that's going to give you a total cost analysis. They're giving a lot of why. So when that person calls you, so if you could give us some scripting, like if you had a magic wand and you know you want the total cost analysis to be part of that value prop, how are you coaching your referral partners up?
Yeah.
What does that sound like?
Yeah, great question. So we sit down with our agents, you know, we have a plan we formulate for how often we're going to be reaching out to them. And when we have coffee, we're on the phone with them, we're saying, listen, like what we want to do is be able to, that first 30-minute conversation we have with your client is the most important. I feel like that's the most important aspect of the entire transaction. That sets the tone. And the agent having that same conversation sets the tone. So we work with our agents to like really understand, like, don't just send, we even say, please don't send us a lead that you haven't talked to. Like if you send us somebody that you haven't vetted, you haven't explained your DNA and your business. For me, it's my mortgage DNA. What are my non-negotiables? And we discuss with our agents, here's my non-negotiables as your partner. I will never do a pre-approval without looking at all the documentation and the application and the credit report. I will not sign my name unless I've done that or my team has done that. If we're going to be working on weekends, these are the items we're working on. When we make a closing, this is how we're setting our closing date. This is what we're doing before we get under contract. And we talk to our agent about how we work with the client, and we share that with them. And we share when it's not done that way, how it goes. So if an agent sends us a referral and doesn't take the time to, you know, really vet that referral, it doesn't go well. And so we share those stories with our preferred partners and say, hey, listen, and we encourage them too. We say, listen, John, last time you sent me that referral, that introduction was phenomenal. Thank you for talking to him in advance. Thank you for explaining to them that Shane is a partner. So that's how our agents, like, we talk about collaboration and partnership. And those are the two words that we want to focus on. So when the agent introduces us to the person that they've already had a conversation with, Shane's my partner, his team and I collaborate. We work together to get you from point A to point B. We make sure that every communication we ever do with the referral partner, they're CC'd. So any communication with a client, the referral partner is always CC'd on communication. And so from our perspective, we work as a team. And so when the agent introduces us as a part of their team, we don't have to fight to win that deal. It's already been done by the agent in advance.
Love it. Now, I've heard a lot of different ways that the mortgage coach conversation is taken with the agent. How do you do it? I've talked to some folks that use iPads. I talked to some that, you know, actually bring them to the office and mock up the experience that they deliver. How do you do it most often so that your realtors really understand call it the total cost advantage that you're delivering?
Yeah, so like we just started a campaign with financial advisors, and I met with several firms last week. And when I demonstrated the presentation to them from a net worth perspective, I had my laptop, I had my iPhone, and I had my iPad. I wanted to show them all three methods of communication so they could see what their client, like how they would experience the presentation. And so the goal is, again, like if I show somebody on a computer, but their client's going to see it on an iPad, well, it's a different feel. And I want them to be able to understand the navigation, because the iPad app is slick. And it's a very simple user interface. It really how it segments things. So we want to show them in all three different formats. And so that's what we do. We bring the presentation. We'll print it too. Some people still like the PDF version, believe it or not. And our goal is I don't have a communication plan other than what the client or the referral partner wants. However they communicate most effectively, we're going to be the Rubik's Cube of communication. We're just going to meet them where they are. If that's iPad, great. If that's on their phone, fantastic. If that's on their computer. So part of our what we call our intake call, that's the first interaction we have with a lead. One of the first things we say is, like, how do you disseminate your communication? Are you on your phone? Are you on your computer? We do that from the standpoint of how we want them to apply, how we want to interact with them, how we're going to get them our mobile app, and how we're going to share with them our TCAs and our presentations.
So first of all, the takeaway is huge. You're making sure that all your referral partners, when they find out how you deliver advice, it's a multi-channel experience. And I'm with you. If someone wants something in writing, let's put it in writing. If they want it on their iPhone, Android, iPad, etc. So takeaway for everybody on this call is when you are delivering that with your referral partners, when you could just show up and say, let me show you how I deliver advice and clarity. Because remember, for the realtor, it's all about, hey, can you give my client a level of clarity so that they have clarity and urgency? And by the way, if they, based off of what they think value and rates are going to do, they don't think they should buy now, let's kick them off the fence the other direction. But at the same time, if when they put in rates and what they think rates are going to do and values are going to do, it's like buying now, that's valuable. You are now creating a whole new level of value, and you're obviously doing that, Shane. So, hey, one last question. You mentioned that you provide 2 total cost analysis.
Yeah.
Could you what are you talking about there?
Yeah. So what we do is like, if we get a lead, like an online lead, or like, in my former life with like the online brokerages, I get an email from somebody saying, hey, I want your rate, your fee, your APR, all that. And it's like our first response to them is, listen, thank you so much for reaching out. We'd love to connect. Like, everyone's story is unique. So we would like to get 15 minutes with you to understand your story and find out if we're a good fit. And so we typically don't do TCAs or presentations until we've actually had 15 to 20 minutes with the consumer. From the standpoint of, we want to make sure they're a good fit for us, and we want to make sure we're a good fit for them. And if both of those things aren't true, we just stop right there and we don't go any further. Then, and to be honest too, like, part of the benefit of mortgage coach is that everybody's mortgage coach is unique to them. We're not going to know that if we haven't had 15 minutes to understand really what their fear is, what their pain is, like why they reached out to us. So we'll do it every time after we have our call. Typically that's at time of pre-approval, but we'll always do one at a minimum at time of pre-approval. Then the second one, if we don't do others just as they're out looking in the market, is once we're under contract and we're having that rate conversation with when to lock, when to float, we'll always send a second one at that point. So the first one is more of a product, 5% down versus 10, 400,000 versus 450. The second one is always options 1 through 4. The price is the same. The product's been set. Now we're looking at rates and short and long-term benefits and what makes the most sense for them. Got
it. So TBD, purchase options, and then it's in escrow, and we're narrowing down the loan that you're going to get and the nuances. That makes total sense. I know a lot of top producers that do that. So this has been fantastic. So first of all, we're going to have another interview with Shane throughout the year this year. So if you have questions for him, put them down below. Also, you do a great job on social. I follow you on Facebook. You are very active. I love that photo the other day of you I don't know how many screens you had. I think it was 3 or 4, but I saw, there you go. I saw the iPad with Rate Watch. Love that. And I actually shared that in our Mortgage Coach Productivity Mastermind group. So by the way, if you're watching this and you are not active in our Facebook group, it's Mortgage Coach Productivity Mastermind. We will let all mortgage professionals in that group, whether you're a member or not. So Shane, if people want to connect with you, because you're obviously a great story. I think other mortgage professionals should follow you as a professional, but you're also a coach. How do people follow you, kind of join, be part of your community?
Yeah. So to get into our tribe, Next Level Loan Officers is our coaching platform. And so on Facebook, if you just type in Next Level Loan Officers, it'll come up. You can just email me at shane@nextlevello.com, Shane Kidwell on Facebook. And that's probably the easiest ways to get in touch with me. I'm on, we use Facebook. We believe that that's a great platform to be present on daily, like you as well. So we're on Facebook all the time, connecting with our referral partners and our clients and other people in the business.
So by the way, Next Level, that's the page. Do you guys also have a group, a public group, or is that a group?
Yeah, we have a public group. And then, again, I think what's really cool, and one of the things you mentioned is you let people into the Mortgage Coach group or private group, if they're in the business. We do that as well. We believe in, again, there's no secrets, there's no hiding, the great ideas in the closet. We bring everything out into the open. And so we have a public Facebook group called Modern Lenders. And there's about 800 of us in there where we're just connecting and mingling and sharing ideas and thoughts and just working on, because we're all going through the same struggles, right? We're all going through with rates going up and what's happening in the business. So it's a great place to just share and to interact with each other.
Good. Well, I'll check that out. And then one last question as we wrap it up. I am passionate about interviewing the most successful leaders and the best mortgage professionals. Think of the videos you've watched, in the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel. Any stand out is a favorite or a couple favorites? Because I know you follow us close.
Jeremy Forcier's got some amazing stuff. I mean, he's been a mortgage coach guy, I think, since I started. Right. And it's been really cool to just see his evolution and the things with him. I mean, we've got some guys at our company. Josh Metals has got some great stuff. And there's local guys here too in the Seattle market. We've got a lot of mortgage coach people here that have really embraced it as a technology.
Right on. So I'm going to put Jeremy's 5 questions to ask at every realtor meeting.
It's a great one.
And I'm also, yeah, it really was. And then Josh, his most recent call, the 5 principles of freedom. Oh, 5 disciplines of freedom. I mean, I thought that call was fantastic. I'm going to put a link to that below because I think they're great examples of the kind of value we bring to the market. So, hey, my brother, anything else you want to add as we wrap this thing up and close? Anything else you want to share to the community?
You know, I mean, I think anybody who has success in a very short amount of time has had a lot of other people that have helped them get there. And the biggest thing is I live in a life of abundance. If anybody ever has questions or wants feedback, man, I'm always available as long as my wife lets me. But I just think it's important to make sure that you're asking good questions and reaching out to people. We're going through, I think, a pretty dramatic change in the market. I'm excited about it. I think that for people who embrace technology, it's going to be a great opportunity for us. And having technologies like Mortgage Coach that are innovating with the market, I think is huge. So yeah, if anybody ever has anything for me, I'm available. I had a lot of amazing people give a lot of time to help me get to where I'm at.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think my closing thoughts for everybody is the community we have called the Mortgage Coach Productivity Mastermind. It's only as good as the people that are part of it. So hopefully you're part of it. The questions that are asked and the comments that are delivered. So keep adding value. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully this was a valuable call for you. And Shane, I look forward to our next call, and I look forward to hearing your success story as it continues to grow, my brother.
Thanks, Dave.
Take care.